Man, how's life been hanging for you? What you been up to since we last met up and sat down and talked about this music industry and our life in general?
All right, you came back with the label approach. If you say so. Nah, I just been chilling, bro. I just been chilling in school. I still had to write my public speaking changes speech, which is coming after the pod. I will be writing it. Shout out to everybody from that class that's listening. But yeah, school. I just been chilling, bro. Just been chilling, school, homework. You know how it go, bro. You know how it go. We here to we potting, we creating memories that's gonna last us, and we just here, bro.
What do they call it? They call it the digital footprint.
Yeah, bro. We just chilling, bro. I've just been doing school, bro, and enjoying life a little bit more.
Midterm season is now gone, come and gone. But that just means that finals is close approaching. So we here to either get you through that tough time, or, I don't know, maybe you celebrating, maybe you're doing good, maybe you don't even need no work, you don't even need no help, and you're just chilling, and for that, I'm envious of you, but we gotta get this pod out for y'all. Last time, we spoke about Hit Boy.
Wait, nigga, wait.
Oh, no, okay.
What have you been doing, bro? Slow.
Same thing.
Taking it slow.
We just doing school, we doing work, we doing our thing, we getting our shit together, trying to set the right steps for the next steps. A proper foundation. As I always like to tell Yaya, proper preparation prevents poor performance. It's a lot of P's.
It's true.
So, yeah.
True.
That's what we up to. We're just getting ready for the next steps.
The weather's been kind of walky outside, but it's nice out. It looks nice outside right now.
We got a little rain
Spring
earlier.
is coming. Spring is coming if we're not already here already.
I'm excited for it. I think we're officially in spring because of the solstice or whatever the fuck, but it was cold for the first couple of weeks.
Days have changed, longer days. The sun is out now. Where I am, we are a long day.
People are back outside.
You feel me? So
and the crime rate is up.
Get to planting, bro. So, yo, in April, it depends on where you are, but if you have some space, plant some crops to eat, bro.
It's always good to
grow your vegetables, grow your fruits, bro.
I forget there was a word you told me. Be self-sustainable. It's good to be self-sustainable.
Self-sustainable, sufficient. You don't have to go to the preservative food grocery stores that be selling shit crazy.
You don't got to give Jeffrey Bezos your money to get something that's healthy for you.
Fam, if you have some land, grow your food. It's better for you and you'll appreciate it more.
Look at the price of eggs and produce, baby.
That's true.
You're going to save yourself $1, if anything, too. That's always good. You got to be a little frugal. I seen LeBron. He was on Twitter the other day. He said, I guess they're taking my blue check away because I ain't paying no damn $5 a month. You got to be frugal. You got to act broke to stay rich. So
that's always been happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so April's coming. Plant your vegetables and shit. And it's always good to know where your food is coming from. Your backyard. Exactly. The side of your porch. The windowsill. Do something to be self-sufficient. It's always good to learn a technique of farming, bro.
You never know. If you've seen The Last of Us, there was an episode where it was the guy who was the doomsday prepper who survived because he knew how to plant, he knew how to build his base up, he knew how to do his thing.
Really? I need to watch that.
Whatever. It's a zombie show, whatever. They also did a little flip on it that was a little funny, but I'm not even going to get into that. But, I know it's always good to know how to survive. That's the thing. We're so used to everything being electronic or mechanical or whatever. We talk about AIs now, but AIs can't grow your crops.
Nope.
So that's up to you.
Word. I've been telling Freezy, I'm like, yo, Freezy, you have the space, grow your food, bro. Because together, we a force. If you trade in, that's trading. You trade in, yo, Freezy might be able to grow a tomato that I can't grow in my garden because I don't have the seed or whatever. It's always good to exchange goods like that. You feel me?
That was the root of our civilization. Good. That's what our civilization was built on. It was systems like that. People growing and trading and building communities through that way. So, we are the pod community.
It's true.
And we're planting this seed. And we're 10 episodes in. And we stunting on y'all.
It is episode 10, bro. Let's just sit back and talk about that, bro. It is episode 10.
We said we was going to be in Miami. We lied. We are professional.
I don't even think the people remember that. I don't even remember that. Yo. We are on episode 10. This is a milestone that we're going to look back one day and be like, yo, we're happy we started the pod. We're happy we catch these conversations on tape, audio and video. And it's just another memory to look back on. So when I see we're on episode 10, it's like we just started yesterday. It's like we just started and we were creating everything. We were planning on everything. We just jumped in. We jumped in.
It was a long time coming, too. It was a long time coming.
We jumped in the game trying to learn, and we still trying to learn. And that's why we got so far, you feel me? Is because we came in here and we want to learn still.
Exactly. The key is to never stop learning. Even the people who are the most successful in the game and the most successful in whatever industry you want to be in, whatever career path you want to take. Yeah. The people at the top, they learn, but they know when to sit back and listen and still learn. So that's the key. And we're going to keep bringing you these excellent, amazing, classic pods as always.
Yeah, bro. It's like when you just put your hard work into something, bro, it's going to come back. It might not come back the first time you try, you understand? But it might come back. Your hard work is going to be paid off in some type of form or fashion. You feel me? And through hard work is how you progress. You understand? Through hard work is how you progress and how you get better.
What does fail stand for? First attempt. I'll learn.
I didn't know that. That acronym is very special.
But yeah, and it is what it is. And we're not going to fail because this is the best podcast in the world. Honestly, I already feel like that.
Honestly, I'm really making the content that I want to put out into the world.
You're right. We're talking about things that we want to talk about. Not no bullshit that's going to get us clicks. You know what I mean? And we still going to get the clicks regardless. Because when you speak the truth and you're authentic, it draws the people in.
When the message comes from the heart, there is no stopping it. When the message comes from the heart, there is no stopping it.
Ain't no gimmicks.
And AI can't figure that out either. AI can't do that. AI can't speak from the heart. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. AI can't speak from the heart. I believe we're going to reach a time where the creators is going to be all that's left. And that's what's going to separate AI from a regular person is how creative you can get and how nice you are just naturally in yourself. Because you could duplicate people's voices. You could duplicate everything else, apparently. Let's see if you could duplicate content creation. Let's talk about it.
You can try all you want. You can't duplicate the heart. You can't duplicate the brain.
I don't believe they can. And
not yet, at least.
I don't believe they can. My brother was showing me some shit where they made like a Seinfeld show.
I did see that too.
And it just keeps on going and going with jokes and shit. But I think the personality is what's going to separate the AI from the people.
Exactly. I mean, that's how it's always been. Even portrayed, even in movies and TV shows when they've had things like this, like iRobot, it was always the heart and the soul of a person that you can't replicate. There's no math behind that. Whatever you want to say. And we seen Elon Musk come out and over 1,000 other tech leaders and AI leaders in AI who have been creating this stuff, scientists, I think, shit too. They came out and they said, hey, whoever's in charge of these AIs, whoever keeps pumping these AIs, you got to slow your roll, slow them brakes, because it could change society in a way forever, and there will be no coming back from that shit. I agree, but I also want to point out, to me, AI could work as a tool. We already seen people using it for school. We already see people using it as work. They talk about, assistant jobs and like meaningless, menial office work like that will be irrelevant in the future because of AI.
Okay.
But to me, if you treat it as a tool for growth and for learning, you'll still be around. You'll still be able to survive. You know what I mean? There's going to be a difference, I think, in the future between people who can use AI to their benefit and their advantage and people who can't. Either you had a too old way of thinking and you're like, I don't want to fucking ever work with this shit because whatever, it doesn't impact me. I don't care about it. And there's going to be people who are like, okay, instead of me getting phased out by this technology, I got to adapt and change quickly. And that's when progress will happen. AI it could be a great tool. People can use it in a great way. Okay. But if we let it become more adaptable than us, because ChatGPT came out a couple months ago. Yeah. I'd say within the first couple of months,
$1 billion industry.
$1 billion. millions of users,
$1 trillion
around the
industry that hasn't proven itself yet. But
and if you're not staying up to date with it,
approximate,
you're gonna stay held back. You're gonna get held back. What happened when you was doing bad in school? They kept your ass in the summertime. You couldn't go outside. Same thing is gonna happen now. So just a word to the wise: stay aware, because we've been aware. We warned motherfuckers from a while back, and even before the pod, we was talking about it from when we were young. We always knew shit like this could happen.
It's true. It's true.
You can say conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that, but
yeah,
when the conspiracy theories start to play out true in real life in front of your eyes, what can you say?
a funny thing. When real life is starting to align with movies and what niggas been talking about for the past 10 years.
That's crazy.
Past 10 years.
That's crazy. It started little by little. We started with the electric cars, electric vehicles, whatever. And pretty soon, not too long after, I mean, how long have Teslas and electric vehicles really been, part of kind of the future of the business? I even heard from an Uber driver that I was with the other time. They rent their Tesla and use it, and they get even a further discount for using an electric vehicle. They get an added bonus of using an electric vehicle when they drive Ubers.
It's the new taxi cab.
Pretty soon, it's going to be all we're transported in is electric vehicles. Even the buses have been turning electric. Even the trains in China, they've been electric bullet trains for a long time. So we're dealing with fossil fuels. We're dealing with a down in coal and oil and shit like that. And our Earth's natural resources. We had no choice but to use electronics to further the way we live. So that's that.
I mean, that's true, bro. Future is playing out, bro. They touched a new sector of the market. Future is playing out in many instances, bro.
And I think we're gonna see it eventually. And if not already, because if you've been on TikTok, I was showing Yaya earlier, the Kanye AI is going crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Kanye AI is singing every song known to man. I seen Kanye AI singing Fleetwood Mac the other day. He was sounding like Ed Sheeran. It made me think, hold up, wait a second. Because that dude is ginger and he looks a little funky. Maybe he was always an AI.
Nah, but Kanye is singing over, not allegedly, the people was making this man sing over Drake songs. You showed it to me before the pod. A lot of hits too. And it sounds good. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday with RDC World One.
I saw that. That was very
and
funny.
They were talking about the AI, but it's a funny joke, but it's very true. And I watched it on the YouTube video. It's like they was like messing with the AI, and based on how you put it in, like type it, is how natural it sounds. You feel me?
Yeah.
So people could mess with it and basically make niggas say anything that they really want. You feel me? People could mess with it and it would sound clear. You put a typo in it and it'll sound clear. It'll sound like the man Ye was saying that.
And you think
Ice
about
Spice,
that
everybody.
in combination with, I don't know if you're familiar with the deep fake shit. Where they implant somebody else's face on another person's body. Really, I think this technology was furthered in porn. Really? For lack of a taboo subject. They've been doing that for a very long time. I'm not no weirdo like that, but I'm being honest. It was a big thing.
It was a wild
been a big
segue.
thing for a long time. It's a wild segue. Yeah, wild segue.
Wild segment.
Wild segue. But it's true. It's true. Yeah. And you think about the capabilities that this has. It's so accurate.
It's
it sounds
getting better
so real.
over time.
You could just have motherfuckers saying anything at all. You could have. I seen a video of Joe Rogan talking about fucking, I don't even remember, like dinosaurs came from meteors or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just outlandish shit, and it looks so real. And we're gonna get to the point where it's gonna be hard to distinguish the reality from the fake shit that's fabricated.
It's true. It's happening right now.
Even more specifically,
harder and
I just thought of the moon landing in my head real quick because that's just how I think. But anyways, let's talk
about it. Let it run. Let it run. The truth.
The moon landing.
Shout out Mac, bit of truth, yo. Anywho,
Kyrie said the Earth was flat too. I don't know.
Hey,
you never know. Only the sailors know. But
listen, all these sailors know.
Anyways, the music industry.
Okay.
This is gonna, I think, affect the music industry as a whole because, even with streaming, technology has always taken a hold of music and drove music forward. We had CDs, we had cassette tapes, we had the Walkman made people listen to music personally on their phone. There was a time where you couldn't listen to music in your headphones. It's hard to think about now, but it couldn't. I mean, I guess now it's like over 50 years ago. Now the 1970s was over 50 years ago, but it didn't always seem so far away. There's a time where you could only listen to music on a boombox outside or on the radio inside.
Your parents know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
All the people before that made us know. They getting high up in age and they know what it was like before a laptop was here, before an iPhone was here. You understand? So
we can't forget about those times, though. We can't, because when you forget about it, you get too comfortable and whatever leads to whatever. But anyways, I'm talking about music and AI. There's already been Beyonce. I don't think, for lack of, don't come after me, Beyonce Hive, because I'm not saying Beyonce's a bad artist.
Tread lightly.
A bad artist or whatever.
That's like Nicki's
but I don't think you can
Queen.
argue that Beyonce, for a majority of her career, probably has not written her music.
Okay,
from the beginning, from
singer.
Destiny's Child, she probably was not writing her music.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what?
There's been loads and loads of people who have had jobs and made money and made a living being writers for other artists, whether it be that they can't sing as well or they can't market their music as well or whatever. They just don't like being the front head and they want to be behind the scenes, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes in these songs, you get 10 writers a song. Yeah. With AI now, they're thinking it'll probably be able to replace a lot of these songwriting jobs. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Saying that. It makes sense because if you look at the money, when you have so many songwriters on a song, everybody's got to get a piece of the pie. Yaya sent me something the other day. I think it might have even just been earlier today. It was Ed Sheeran getting sued by, was it the Marvin Gaye family? Yeah. Because they sue for everything. You already know they sue for everything. Robin Thicke.
As they should.
For everything. Exactly, as they should. And, these people are getting chunks of the pie, and you really think that labels are here for that shit? I'd assume not. And I think they're looking at AI and these new technologies as a way to cut out having to give money and give profits to other people. But anyways, when you're signed to a label, the percentage points that come out of either the production budget or your writing or, your composing credits, that comes out of your pocket, the artist's pocket. It doesn't come out of the label share of the ownership. So it could be a way to think about it, going forward. Are you going to work with many artists, or are you going to let your AI do it for you? I don't think the labels care, because I think we're at a point to where the labels are just focused on the margins, how much money they can make, the profits. And, there was a time where labels would actually hear like, oh, you sound great, you make great music. I like your voice, I like your story, whatever. Yeah. And they would cultivate these artists. But that's a time that we are far removed from. So, with the emergence of this new technology, people will argue that this could push labels further down that path of, hey, we don't have to work with these people no more.
They tried it before, remember, with the FN Mecca. We talked about a couple episodes
he got canceled with the quickness. I don't know how you cancel an AI, but, I mean, I'm glad it happened.
The labels wasn't paying him.
I'm glad that happened.
The labels wasn't paying the voice of the AI. So, they tried it before, and they failed. But
that's just,
it's still there for the future. They tried it earlier.
You can fail, but it's just a lesson moving forward for them anyways.
There could be a new one, and then it'll change the game. It'll change the game, bro. Then in that instance, the wall would be broken down, and you had to start from scratch again. Because before, like I said before, you can have a Mary J track with Beyonce, the splash of Nicki, and Kim at the expense of 10 seconds, not even. If you just know how to ask the AI the right prompt. You feel me? If you know how to ask them the prompt, then you get whatever you want. But songwriters are going to have problems in the near future. Called it here. Called it here.
And I don't think it'll be too long a time before producers are having a hard time with it too. I mean, even when we're getting into sample heavy music.
That is something that I have not heard.
I mean, it could be a tough time for producers out here.
To make beats now, then we have a whole new industry.
Purely generated music. We talk about the labels put out generated music now with whatever artist, whatever bubbling artist is out there making anime music, as Yaya was saying.
Yeah, anime girl music.
Anime girl music that's just generated and
clip incoming.
Make a quick buck. Imagine when it's just the computers doing it and the labels making all the profits from it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's how the game goes. And the people who stand to suffer the most from this will always be the little guy which in this case is the creatives. So, it's a thing to look out for. Always got to stay attentive. Always got to stay on point with it type shit.
Having somebody make a beat with AI is crazy to me. But we have seen it all. We have seen it all.
Hey,
so anything is possible.
I know a lot of producers love those VSTs or those things that already give you a pre-made sample. They could even chop the sample up for you already.
What is that? VST? What is it?
I forget what the
Like
exact terminology is for. Exactly. The way we have plugins for mixing and mastering, producers can have plugins for making a beat.
Okay.
So they already have programs which take samples that are either cleared or easily cleared by them, and they chop it up for them. You know? So if that's already a technology that's out there, imagine with the implementation of AI, or once somebody figures out, hey, we can make a quick buck out of this. We can make more money by cutting out this guy who's working on beats in his basement or working on beats in a studio and selling them to artists and sending it out to his friends. We could cut that guy out completely.
And the artist.
And the artist, too. I mean,
and now we have a whole new music industry where nobody is coming back for legal rights or anything.
It reminds me of the discussion we had the other day, or not really the other day, it was a while ago, about Glorilla's producer who kind of got screwed over by the label because they wanted to cut him out completely. It's a headache that a lot of labels have to deal with because people already know that these labels are doing underhanded tactics to get you out of your ownership.
Yeah.
So it won't be long till labels figure out a workaround and cut out the middle guy and cut out the little guy. So it's a thing to take note of.
That would change the game. That would change the game entirely because you do not have the artist and you do not have the person that's making the beat for the artist in the picture.
Exactly.
That is a whole new industry.
The FN Meccas of the world, if they was pushing that guy like he was about to be the next big thing, they could put so much money behind that fucking project. The way that they handled the situation was fucked up because they didn't pay the people that was behind it. Whatever. I mean, you had a white,
like always,
colorful dread robot. That was the artist, the voice behind from the robot was a black dude. And they profited directly off of it. They cut off a little piece for whoever's in charge of doing the voice or whatever.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Because people are hungry, people are desperate. You put a little money, they get a little choice to make some music. And they're gonna take it, they're gonna run with it. It'll be their first look, you know. This guy who after that, I bet you the biggest amount of publicity that he ever received was by getting screwed over by this fucking AI robot from the label. You know what I mean?
Because they were just getting to the peak, you know. He had features with everybody, and then it just hit a plateau and just went downhill from there. They had a run. They had a little run, couple 2-month run.
I was seeing that motherfucker everywhere. That little ugly motherfucker.
That nigga was at the festivals in the flesh, digitally. Yo,
that's nuts. I mean, you remember they tried to do the Tupac hologram. I don't know if you remember that from way back in the days. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That's disrespectful, to be honest with you. How the fuck you get the rights to that shit? You think his mom is signing off on that shit? His dad is signing off on that shit? Well, I guess his dad is gone.
His estate,
so to speak. They're not signing off on that shit, but they probably don't have the rights to put up a fight about it. You know what I mean?
I think at that time, I don't know if they I think they either had the okay to do it, or I don't know. They probably had the okay if they were going to attempt to do that, bro. At that time, back in the day. Same with everybody else.
I sent Yaya.
They got the blessing. Trust me, they had to have the blessing.
I sent Yaya a text over the weekend about I seen a Gucci advertisement with a Bill Withers song as the commercial. You know, the Gucci pandering.
Yeah.
We talk about the fashion Ricos sometimes.
Okay.
Yaya was telling me, nah, there's no way they did that without getting the okay.
But wait. I said
I know.
I said there's probably no way they did that without getting the okay from him. But it is only 3-second video, so I don't know if you could fucking scheme a 3-second.
If it's for profit, there's always gonna have to be someone signing off on that shit.
Yeah.
It's commercial.
Yeah.
So I do a little digging. Who owns the Bill Withers music catalog? It is not his family. There's a fucking corporation called MMG, not Rick Ross MMG. But there's a different MMG that owns the rights to all that shit.
But you sure that's not the family under a different name?
Nope.
You sure?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep. We checked out the sources. You can fact check me all you want. Check it out.
He say you can fact check me.
You can fact check me all you want.
I'm fucking dead, bro. That's
I'm
crazy.
not spreading no disinformation, okay? We're doing all right. And if we are, but yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me that a lot of rappers or singers or artists getting screwed over in the same way. Sync licensing is a big way that a lot of artists make music.
Which is what? What is a sync license?
A sync license is when a company gets the right to use a song in either like a commercial or a movie or a TV show.
Okay.
An artist can either ask for money up front or get percentage points on the back end. Typically, the percentage points is for the really, really big guys, and that's why we don't see a lot of commercials have Drake music in them, obviously. You know what I mean?
The legendary Sprite commercial from back in the day. Like everybody.
Where he was a robot.
Yeah, everybody. That was a big one back in the day. I remember that from those days.
We talk about Metro selling his catalog. We talk about Justin Bieber selling his catalog. We talk about Future selling his catalog. In turn,
sells piece of it.
In turn, when you sell that piece as a catalog, those people who own that can then turn around and use it for sync licensing and make money that you could have been making right in your pocket right now. But the thing is, it's a bitch to get those sync licensing deals done. It takes a lot of connections and a lot of moving pieces and a lot of backdoor deals, shaking of the hands.
But
you know what I mean?
But listen,
it makes sense.
That is what they're doing with TikTok. That's why it's so important that everybody's on TikTok, because they found a way to monetize that shit. That's why I don't be adding music unless I add it in post-production. I'm not adding it on TikTok itself, because who knows if that artist is even getting the money for that, and somebody eating off of that.
Exactly.
Like somebody getting all the proceeds of that. And that's what they trying to do to push that. That shit affects all the numbers first week and everything.
I'm not sure if there's been any study done, but I'm sure it would be a great study to do. How much TikTok is actually making these streams more prevalent for these artists.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like if they're taking it into consideration, it's endless amount of streams within that first week, if that's added too, from everybody making videos to it online. That is crazy.
But we've had, I don't know if you saw the TikTok hearings that happened a while ago.
Yeah, they were getting lit up a couple weeks ago.
Honestly, to me, it seemed like a lot of CCP, Communist Chinese Party propaganda. I was all over TikTok. I seen this dude. Everybody was making like heart edits of this guy who was doing this shit. They're fucking stealing all your data. Let's be real. They're stealing all our data and they're selling it off for money.
Yeah, and we on TikTok too.
But to me,
but that's why you have to be on different platforms, creators. You cannot put your eggs in all one basket. I was telling my cousin the other day, shout out Cuzzo. I was saying you can't have your eggs in all one basket. You have to be on different platforms. I heard Ryan Leslie say this on EYL yesterday. He was with Jadakiss and La Russell at a summit somewhere. I don't know, on EYL. And Ryan Leslie said you're renting your audience from these platforms. No one has really found a way to fully monetize their audience because of the algorithms that's in place that change frequently. No one has really found a way how to do it. And Ryan Leslie and La Russell and them is finding a way musically and trying to find a way how to get to your full audience. Because they said it on TikTok. They have people that choose what goes viral. I know that. I know niggas is playing with the numbers.
TikTok said it too.
Niggas is playing with the numbers.
They have a big red button.
We know. I know what my numbers is supposed to look like. And I've only been on there a couple months posting frequently, you feel me? But I know that they could kill the sound down, or sometimes a message gets too much and it's so authentic that they can't kill it because it's already going viral. But they stop it at a certain point and be like, all right, yo, make him chill, yo. They choose what goes viral, so you have to put your eggs in different baskets, bro, as a creator. I'm going to keep it a buck with you.
The congressional hearings on TikTok revealed exactly what everybody thought and what was rumored and leaked a while ago, a couple of weeks ago.
It's important that we talk about this because this affects us.
There's a big red button.
On the low level.
They have the hidden button. If they see some shit they like, they'll promote that shit straight to the top at the push of a button.
Yep.
And that shit'll go viral like crazy.
Yep.
To me, when they say shit like that, that makes me think about, so maybe when these artists are selling out their catalogs, they're trying to make their music go viral. It can't go viral. But if you sell it to the label now has ownership. The label now has those connections. The label has those fucking
networking.
That networking, like
to
we
be
talk
like,
about.
Yo, my man, I
own this
at TikTok.
now. I own this now. Heat this up for me. Let me give me some money to heat this up for me. It's happened in music all the time. It used to happen in the heyday of radio when you had to break a song and be a popular artist. You had to be all over radio.
Yeah.
It was payola to these DJs to be like, hey, play this song, play this record. This is my artist. This is me. This is whatever. I got the money for it. Pay up. I'll pay up and play this shit all day. What happened? Streaming came up. Streaming started independently rushing out artists who were able to capitalize off of it.
Yeah.
We had the SoundCloud era. We had the streaming era.
Yeah, SoundCloud is gone now.
What ended up happening? We had a lot of artists do exclusive deals with different streaming services.
Yeah.
The labels didn't like that shit because they're like, hey, we're not getting no bit of that money for you going exclusive. We're losing money because you're not on all these platforms. So what happened? The streaming service had to make an agreement with the labels not to let artists do these exclusive deals no more.
They found a way how to what they put a number on what amount of streams amounts to what, and they changed it. They might change it again.
What were those two big examples with that shit? Frank Ocean, who dropped Endless, who was it got him out of his deal, and it was a Apple Music exclusive visual album because the label thought, oh my God, we're getting this Frank Ocean album. It's going to be great, amazing. He goes independent, and he sells Blonde everywhere independently. They were like, oh, that's crazy. Drake sold the rights to Views exclusive to Apple Music for either the first week or the first 2 weeks, something around that. Kanye West sold the rights to The Life of Pablo for the first couple of weeks, exclusively to Tidal. Only if you had Tidal, you could listen to it on there. And the labels didn't like that. Moving forward, now the labels are operating in a way where the streaming service might as well be the labels, and the labels might as well be the streaming services. We have this whole talk about, oh, the labels are dying because we don't need all this shit. We talk about distribution services. The distribution services are distributing and streaming. Yeah. They're the ones with the closer relationships. They're the ones with the connections and the money in the back pocket. So it's getting tougher and tougher out there. We talk about all this to compare it to TikTok, because TikTok can make anything go viral. And whenever you have something, an entity, a platform with power like that, there's always going to be back money deals from higher ups saying, hey,
it's true.
This is what we want to go viral.
It's true. So that means that they could change the narrative. The narrative, too. They might not want to show you a good image of a particular persons or people about a situation. They going to program you to what they want you to believe. You feel me?
To me,
as a content creator, it's something that we have to deal with, and that's why you have different platforms. You don't just put you all into one place that could either kick you out whenever or fire you, ban you whenever. Feel like that's the same shit Tesla told me. You working for a company, boy, and they could terminate your account. Or choose to let you rock for a little bit, then terminate you when you get big. You feel me? So you have to put your eggs in different baskets, B.
I mean, we saw it with Kai, Sinat, and Aiden Ross, who did their moves to Twitch and shit like that.
You seen that they sent the Kai
a plaque mad late. That was mad late. Kai looked happy.
Nigga, they sent him shoes in a box. They sent him shoes.
It wasn't even a plaque?
Nigga, they sent him shoes that look trash, bro.
That's out of pocket. I remember that makes me
Nigga, that's a record label. That's what the record label do.
Joe Budden was talking about Spotify was giving them used Rolly watches when they was trying to re-up on their deal. They was getting used Rollies.
Do you see that? That's
out of pocket. Too little, too late. And I think,
bro, all this money here, you get
I believe Kai knows that they're fucking with
high top Nikes.
I believe in my heart that he knows is they're not the ones to put all your egg in one basket with. Because he's been cool with Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross went the other way. I think Andrew Tate went the other way too with the kick shit, right? Which is new.
He's free. Top G is free.
Yaya's boy.
I ain't say that, but the Top G is free.
The big homie.
Top G is free finally from incarceration.
Shout out Romania.
Illegally.
Shout out Romania. He said, I have nothing against the country of Romania. Just the corruption of the Matrix.
4,317 push-ups, nigga.
And he was reading the Quran all day.
Shouts out to him, yo. I'm glad he's free. If he didn't do anything wrong, he shouldn't be locked up.
That shit is funny to me. I seen South Park parodied him in South Park. It was looking kind of crazy. I seen that too. It was looking kind of crazy.
I ain't watched a full episode. Though.
It was
knew that it happened.
It's trash. South Park been kind of once in a while. They got some good shit. They'll speak up on some good shit, but then they show their true color sometimes.
Nigga, that's the distraction, but it's the truth in plain sight.
Exactly,
as we say.
Like we were talking about earlier. There's truth to every joke. You know, so what I seen about Andrew Tate, there was another. Oh, he got released on exactly the same date as The Matrix released in theaters in the United States. That was the day he got released in Romania. It's funny how the world works, right? But yeah. If you think he was going hard before, I think he's going to go even harder. I think they're expecting him to be out and be like, damn, I got locked up for 3 months. They actually are after me. They actually came for me. No, I think he'll probably go harder. I think it's giving him an excuse. And
It's true.
Like you said
It's true.
earlier too, when a message gets strong enough, there's no way you can mute it down anymore. They was blocking
Can't
this
kill the
man
sound, bro.
on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on everything. None of his own platforms could be up on any of these social media sites.
His bank account. It's like Kanye.
They did the same shit to Kanye. But when someone has that much following, you're still seeing his fucking clips everywhere.
And
He was
niggas
going
is,
on kick.
niggas is stealing his content.
Exactly.
He's
People are
stealing his image.
repurposing it, so to speak.
Repurposing content.
But and it shows
Stealing
also
it, though.
it might not always be a bad thing because it was a way for him to keep getting his message out there. The fact that he had so many little cronies and Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts reposting his video from a platform with not as much viewership, but small clips of that was being able to go out and go viral and keep his name out there type shit.
Yep.
So I think they had to lock him up, so to speak. They had to be like, hey, we got to put you away for something. And I've been to Romania. The place is nice. That place is no joke. That place is no joke.
He said no joke.
So, hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad he's free.
It's a fact, bro. This man was talking about his tiger claw style. He's been locked up and tweeting. That shit is crazy. He said somebody.
All
said
the rappers get their Twitter
Yo.
in jail. I'm not surprised.
Yo,
Top G did.
he said he said that a cockroach. He had to fight with a cockroach and a rat for his rations. I said, "Oh shit!"
He said
This nigga-
insects took 30% of my food today. 30%,
That's
motherfucker.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yo,
But that's some real struggle in life that happened in fucking jail.
he stood
though.
solid too. That motherfucker stood way solid.
That nigga got bigger in jail. That's how you supposed to be doing your push on the outside, bro.
I feel like he could have
Too.
shaved his head and beard too, but he didn't want to do it. He had to show a point.
Nah, bro. And he was with his brother too, so hopefully they was in the same place. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
They was probably in the same place too, but they probably just didn't have access to fucking.
You seen the videos
Shit.
of him getting like straight out of jail? You seen all the reporters? now?
Yeah.
He is he's international news because he's getting all the way out here. But in Romania, he's a fucking superstar. You see, they're treating him better than they treating the soccer players out there on some crazy shit.
It's true because his message.
And when you hear him,
the
talk
message.
to him, I can hear these Romanian accents. These people going, "Top G, you're my hero."
Yeah.
Free Top G.
Yeah.
Like the reporters.
Yeah.
The people are supposed to be in the professional bag, supposed to report unbiased, so to speak. They are seeing through the shit over there.
Niggas is pulling
And
up
that's what's dangerous.
Dressing the king. Bro.
That's what these top people think
Yeah.
is dangerous. We went into it, I think, last episode. If you didn't catch that last half of the pod, I think you should catch that last half of the pod.
Episode 9.
Because we went into it, but we've been going into it all pod today.
Have a lot
People
to say.
get sick of the people on top sometimes.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention it last episode, but I'm glad it's still going strong now because we get to mention it now. France. They're going hard in France. I don't know if you heard about what's going on in France.
I saw some riots and shit that they was for raising the
retirement
retirement
age.
age. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
talk about
Yes.
it. I didn't even write that down, baby.
I
talk
knew I
about
wanted
it.
to get into it. From last
Let's
pod, I
talk
wanted to
about
get
it.
into it.
Fuck
They're
it,
on their
let's talk
10th
about it.
day. I think they're on their 12th day at this
They
point.
still going?
Going strong. They're going strong.
Yo,
They're going strong.
People
I
don't
seen
play with
video-
their money, bro.
I seen video of the
shit.
police taking off their uniforms and protesting with the people out there.
I saw the firefighters fighting for them
And
too.
I was talking that
Allegedly.
shit. Allegedly, that was fake news. Allegedly, because they also had a protest of firefighters in 2020.
Oh, and
But that video
from-
was funny as fuck. I saw that shit.
Okay,
okay, but anyways, fuck. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the people are going strong. They're going hard.
That's
They're
crazy.
on their 12th day and running. Macron is going to have to back down at some point. What's crazy to me is they're fighting about getting the retirement age raised from 62 to 64.
Okay.
They're saying it's not possible to live like that and work for
Okay.
that long.
Yeah.
Motherfucker,
In France?
our retirement age over here is like 66, 67. They're fighting to get that shit pushed to 70.
Yo, I had to.
We gonna work till we die.
Yo.
We gonna work till we
But
die out
they
here. That's what they
want
want
you
us
to
to
be.
do.
Oh, let's talk about this shit. In the school system, to me, growing up in New York public school system, right? It was under my knowledge that they made it seem like they wanted you to work for somebody. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. School teaches you to work for somebody. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Shout out Dame Dash and EYL.
Shut them out.
Troy and Shawty, yeah. I'm speaking. They want you to be a worker. They not trying to push you to be a boss, bro. School doesn't teach you to be a boss. That's at least from my understanding, growing up, school didn't teach me to, open a business, take social media serious, do this, invest in yourself. I didn't really get that throughout school. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So
if anything, it's the exact opposite.
They teach you to be a worker, to work in their system, bro. They want you to work until you die for pennies.
And
they want you
people are
to be a
standing
worker
up against that shit.
Yes.
I had my share of
Shit
shit
is
talk
crazy,
of people
though.
from France being punani, for lack of a better term. And I was, I was feeling a way. But now looking at this, I feel even more of a way. Because if the French people over there can do it for that, something that to a lot of people, I see the way the American media reports it. I see the way the British media reports it. They're like, oh, those motherfuckers is lazy. They don't want to do this shit. Yada, yada. I seen...
Painting the picture.
They had to cancel King Charles from England, a.k.a. Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, was going to France. He had to go to France to meet with Prime Minister Macron, President Macron, whatever the fuck he is, right?
That's the president of France?
The president of France, Macron.
Okay.
King Charles was going to fly out to visit them for the first time since even before COVID. They had a British monarch go to France. He canceled because of the protests and it was looking crazy. They were like, yo, if you come over here, you might start something in England, pretty much. They painted it as, oh, it's unsafe. But nah, we really know what would have happened if he pulled up over there, he throwing apples and bananas and shoes at his face. You know what's going to happen? It's going to make him look like a joke. His people are going to be like, hold up, why aren't we doing this?
And they respect that shit. They
respect the BBC, pause, because that's...
he said pause. The media company.
The media company.
The TV channel.
And Sky, they were purporting it as, oh... In France, they're arguing about protesting until raising the retirement age to 64. King Charles is 74 and he's still working. Motherfucker, are you fucking serious? You gonna say that shit? These media companies act like they're so unbiased or whatever, but they putting down the people that they should be representing and they should be advocating for.
Let's talk about it. That's every politician, bro.
And it's down to when it's getting the journalists and the media. When we're in school, we learn about the muckrakers and people were fucking dying and getting killed and they were getting smeared and slammed.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of it is. The Jungle, right? Which was about like the meat packing district, something like that.
Yeah.
That's back
the
when
Triangle
journalists
Factory or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. The journalists were actually in the trenches and the journalists were
women.
people that were from the bottom or people that were working class.
Yeah.
Nowadays, to be a journalist, what you got to do? You got to go to a $60,000, $70,000 university, study some bullshit, learn some bullshit, and suck some toes, and you get to the top over there. You get to CNN, you get to MSNBC, you get to Fox News, whatever. And that's how it goes. And that's why they're not giving it up. They're not chopping it up like how they used to. Man, just keeping it a buck. Keeping it a buck.
Let's talk about it. The laborer is always at the bitter end of the stick. And school didn't teach me to become a man who's into drop shipping. That is a lane that people could go into that is independent. You could be your own boss. You could make your own hours based on how you ship products. They don't tell you about, social media. There's no class in college to teach you how to gain a social media following. Everything's on YouTube. There's not even a class
in high school to teach you how to do your taxes.
Or
how to use the tax code to your benefit.
Fam, the only class that I remember that had any instance, only two, that I had any instance of teaching financial literacy is the stock class with Mr. Stanton. Nobody skipped that class because he was talking about investing in the stock market. The man had the highest credit score I've ever seen.
Shout out Mr. Stanton if you ever hear this, because you were
Home Depot stock. The man had mad Home Depot stock. Yo, the man was telling us how to get on, and that happened in the last years of school. Imagine if we would have got that.
And I'll tell you something
earlier.
Else. I'll tell you
at
something
an earlier
else.
age.
I was always
that's my speech, baby.
Advanced math class or honors math class.
Shout out public speaking, boy.
Those students who were in the advanced math classrooms,
write that shit down.
In the honors advanced math classrooms that were a year ahead or were getting AP for their college, they were not required to take that course. They didn't have to take that. They had to go on and take calculus or trig or whatever like that, which is big math concepts that's complicated as a motherfucker. That's why I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that shit. And at every instance that I said I wanted to go to a different level, I wanted to go to this class, they were stopping me from going to that class.
Really?
Because they were like, you're on track to go to wherever you're going to go and do whatever you're going to do.
Really?
You should stick to this schedule that we got laid out for you.
Really?
So if it wasn't for me fighting to get into that class, which they were seeing as a lower level class, they were pretty much advertising
teaching finance,
as like a bullshit class.
Teaching financial literacy,
shit that actually matters. Shit that actually matters. They're trying to avoid people from learning.
Wow. That is what my speech is about happening on Monday. People, if you're from... nigga, I'm writing everything down in my memory, and we got to talk from memory. So it's crazy how that relates to podding and schoolwork at the same time. But we got to talk about it. They didn't teach you how to get on with social media. There's nothing on file to teach you, yo, this is how you make a YouTube channel. This is what you do. This is the formula. There's no formula. It's still being made. You feel me? It's still being made. Niggas that's have been getting far and doing shit to alter how we come up in the business or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? How anybody comes up in this, it's being changed every day. You don't understand? So that's the hard part about it. And there's no classes for the creator. There's no classes. I mean, YouTube, shout out YouTube, really, for real. Shout out YouTube, because YouTube could teach you anything that you want to know.
Yeah. If you're looking for the right shit.
It taught me everything I want to know.
I'll give you a side story from my family.
Tell you
about
that right now. We totally independent.
When my grandpa first came to this country,
In-house.
my mom got him a laptop to kind of keep him busy. You know what I mean? He was helping raise me. This motherfucker, what he would do is he would go on YouTube. He would watch his news. He would do whatever. But what he really liked to do was learn how to cook. On YouTube, they got fucking videos to make anything. You can learn how to make anything.
Yep.
And really, in the very late in his life, because my grandpa never really used to cook. Very late on his life from YouTube, he learned how to cook.
Shout out Solis.
Shout out Solis. Even though he'll probably never listen to this, but you know, it is what it is. I just want to say YouTube is a tool, much like AI, as we discussed, is a tool that you can use to learn more and grow. But shout out France. Fuck Macron. Macron met his wife when he was 15 and she was 42. She was his professor. Which at the time is a W. Honestly, it's a W. I ain't gonna lie. That's a W. That's a big W.
Yeah.
But at this point, she's 70, and there's something sus about that. You know what I mean? There's something a little. So we talk about grooming and shit like that, but whatever. I don't even want to go into personal shit, but he's a bitch. So he could go get fucked. He forced that vote through. He didn't even let his parliament vote on that shit because he knew it would fail. He knew if it passed a certain whatever, because I'm not the most informed about how the fucking French governmental system works, but if it's anything like this one, you know it's a load of horse crap. And he forced this retirement age vote through, and the people's like, fuck that. And I think we could learn a lesson from that here in America.
I didn't know that they were still rioting.
And they're still rioting over that shit, because it's a big deal. It'll change future generations' lives.
I heard that over here they want to change the work week. They want to take Friday off. And it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That might happen.
Could be good.
That could happen. But, nigga, when we needed this years ago, where the fuck was all these ideas at?
And it's coming from the same people. It's coming from the same people who said they would raise the minimum wage to $15, the federal minimum wage. That shit is still sitting at $7.25, I believe, or 11 or whatever the fuck. But we know it's damn near not enough at this point with inflation and how it's gonna keep rising for the rest of our lives. Man, that minimum wage might gotta be $20 an hour at this point. If you eggs is sitting at $8 a dozen,
they supposed to give our people fucking reparations. Nigga, where was the reparations when we needed that shit years ago?
They say,
let's talk about it.
Take a stimulus check, brother. Good luck.
Nigga, where was these reparations years ago when people were struggling, bro? You want to give it to us now in inflated culture, inflated time period, and then the bread is gonna cost $1 million.
That's some nut shit. That's really some nut shit.
Well, money, like, you understand? This shit is wild.
And on the flip side, our federal government has all the money to spend in bullshit that doesn't even matter.
And print. Don't get it twisted. They have all the money to spend and print. Damn, we speaking truth today.
I wanted to know something else.
I know it was gonna go like this.
I didn't talk to you. We didn't even go into any music at all. But it's coming. It's coming. Sorry.
We stretching it out today, babe. We got the message is important.
It's episode 10, y'all.
The message is important, yo. And you have to, nigga, we talking from the heart, yo. It is what it is.
We are 54 minutes into the pod. Right
Fuck now. It, I don't even care.
And I think it's we got a little while longer to go. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Fuck it, we pushing it today, bro. It's whatever.
The federal, we was just talking about the federal government
is important for our
spending
people.
our tax dollars on the wrong things.
Okay.
I could go into something else, but that's actually gonna get the video shadow banned, so I can't even. I can't even go into that.
Nigga, you know what that's called? That's called the illusion of transparency. You could have did it. You could have did it. But now you talking about it now.
Shooting. I can't shoot at them yet. We gonna have to wait. We gonna have to wait a little to shoot at them. They know who they are. But the federal government has spent money this time. As we talked about last week, we saw Trump tweeting out that on Truth Social or whatever the fuck that shit is again, that he was going to get indicted and arrested on Tuesday. Tuesday came and went, and I was like, damn, we left the pot off with that, and now we going to look crazy.
No,
but here we go. 3 days later on Friday, end of March, they announced an indictment against former President Trump. The first ever indictment of any sitting or former president ever in history. And I'm telling you now, the precedent that this is going to set.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Honestly, I feel like the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, who I didn't feel that strongly about before, not even due to him being against Trump or whatever, because let's keep it a buck. Trump is probably a criminal in many ways. And he probably should go to jail. But the fact that they're focusing in on this is political persecution. They going after him because he's a Republican and he probably has a chance at winning in 2024. Let's keep it a bean.
I don't know, nigga. I don't like no politician, so.
I never voted for a president once, and I don't plan to. Because I can't vote for somebody who doesn't have my ideals in line.
Exactly.
And my mom taught me that if you help someone get into power, like voting for them, and you don't even 100% agree with them, you can't 100% vouch for them, don't do it. Because the karma comes back to you, too. If you're voting for these motherfuckers, the karma gonna come back to you, too.
Yeah.
That's part of the way the world works.
It's true.
But anyways.
And you know what's crazy? My mom, she got mad at me because I didn't want to participate in voting because all of them niggas is evil. Let's talk about it. Both sides. I don't take, nigga, both sides is evil.
We here today. We here to
both sides is evil, B. Let's talk about it. So I didn't want to support any side because both sides is corrupt.
Exactly.
And keep our people down either way.
But the crazy part is they paint it as a way is if you agree with one side or the other, one side is for the people and one side is not. When we know that's fucking cap. So they go after Trump.
She was mad at me. And I said, and then now she's like, yo, I understand. And now I don't want to do it either.
Exactly.
And I was like, you was getting on me crazy.
Exactly.
And now you don't want to vote either. All right. See, I'm a prophet.
It is what it is. I mean, my mom told me too. She was like, man, I don't think you should vote if you don't agree with none of it. I was like, I really don't. I really can't stand for none of this shit.
That's real life.
Alvin Bragg is a Democrat.
That's real life.
And they're using tax dollars to fund this indictment of Trump, which they used tax dollars to do an impeachment or 3 impeachments or however many fucking impeachments they did that led to nothing. They did that January 6th committee that fucking led to nothing also. Okay. Wasting money, wasting their time. They got all these congressmen and senators all together to talk about some bullshit when you could be talking about lowering inflation, bettering the economy, not sending money over to a foreign country that is not paying taxes to our people. Our people are paying taxes. We got homeless people on every street corner in America.
Yeah.
New York City, you can't go in the subway without having to walk over a homeless person. That shit breaks my heart. And we are one of the richest countries in the world, if not the richest country in the world. Maybe not anymore.
Not China got that.
Because you see they're all teaming up now. Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia is on the horizon to go combine with them too. They're like, yo, we ain't taking shit from America no more.
Temperature is rising.
They're going to make us go to war with these motherfuckers to protect the dollar. That's how they always do it.
Temperature is rising, bro.
And it's the sad part is it's all been very avoidable. We are in this politicized climate. We can't even agree on the basic shit. Most people in America agree that we should have a unified healthcare system with our tax dollars to actually go to benefiting people having health insurance. Most people agree, Democrats and Republicans. Still no action. Not even a vote has come up on that shit. Ever. We got enough money to fund some shit like that.
I think, I don't know. I don't really follow it too much, but I think they had
never been a congressional vote.
Obamacare shit, that shit.
Obamacare, but even Obamacare
it went away though.
But even that, it was watered down because it still left openings for the healthcare insurance companies to stay alive and stay profitable. You know what I mean?
That's what it all comes down to, boy.
To me, the thing is, we see Democrats prosecuting a former Republican president.
Okay.
Moving forward, if the Republicans ever take back power, which always happens, every time someone gets into power, they always feel like, oh, we could do whatever we want because we're going to run the shit for the next whatever.
Yeah.
So they do shit, it fucks with the other party. As soon as the other party gets into power, they're going to do the same shit. If the Republicans win with either Trump or DeSantis or whatever, either now in 2020, 2024 is going to be the next elections, right? 2024 to 2028, whatever.
Yes, I don't know.
Or 2000, whatever. Whenever there's elections and the other side wins, they're going to do the same shit. If they can prosecute Trump over paying hush money to a porn star, which is
Out of
crazy,
all things, out of all things
out of all
that
the evil
happened.
shit that he could have probably done,
That
paying
happened.
hush money to a porn star using
Them
campaign
niggas stormed the White House the other day. Remember?
dollars. I seen that. We can't even
Remember that?
using campaign dollars. Campaign dollars.
Yeah.
That's as big a crime to prosecute a former president on. What the fuck are you gonna do when the Republicans take power and be like, "Hey, Joe Biden and his son was taking money from the Ukraine. He was collecting dollars on the back end."
Hey.
Hillary Clinton used campaign dollars to fund the Steele dossier that said in 2016 Russia stole the election. Russian was influencing the election. They did the same shit. Are we gonna prosecute war criminals and people who should have been prosecuted for torturing people, innocent people, or whatever people in fake wars in the Middle East? Are we going to prosecute George Bush for being a war criminal? Are we going to prosecute Dick Cheney? Are we going to prosecute Nancy Pelosi for her husband being the best stock trader in the history of Wall Street? He outperformed the S&P 500
Okay.
trading on stock that made him the most profitable stock trader in the history of America. Or at least one of the best. He gets shit right more than S&P 500. That should tell you something.
Yo.
Then the top stock traders in America on Wall Street, he gets it right more than them. Why? Because his wife is probably like, "Hey, put some money on Roblox." What the fuck are they doing funding getting Roblox stock? You gonna tell me they actually know shit about Roblox?
They know
I know
they
shit about
the,
Roblox.
They know about the company.
They never even played with Roblox. I play with Roblox.
Played Roblox. That shit's still going strong. I think their stock price is like $30. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
That's what I'm saying. And they made millions and millions of dollars off of that. And that's criminal.
Robux.
That's criminal. How the fuck can Nancy Pelosi's salary as a government
nigga,
agent?
that's called capitalism.
200,000, 400,000.
He's nice.
He's nice. He's nice.
He's nice. So he got the up. That's capitalism.
Just to let you know, we got a little thing called insider trading, which is illegal. And if you're found guilty of that shit, you get to go to one of those white people facilities and play tennis in jail. But at least you have to go away, right? At least you have to go away. They talk about justice for all. No one's above the law for Trump, but these people are above the law on a different side or even the same side.
Freezy's wild.
So I gotta stay shooting. That's it. That's it. And I'm not saying I agree with one side or the other, but if we're gonna say no one's above the law, we gotta hold everyone to the same standard. Hold your fucking self to that same standard.
Nigga, these people, they don't care about that, Freezy.
They bail out the banks. They won't bail out the
Talked
people.
about it last time.
They won't bail out the people. Just to
Fam.
let you know. Don't let them put the wool over your eyes again. That's all I gotta say.
Damn, we was shooting in this, bro. We been shooting, nigga.
An hour in already.
Nigga,
Straight
that came from the
straight
heart.
gra.
That came from the heart, bro.
It is what it
That
is.
shit, that shit comes from the heart, bro. When the message comes from the heart, you can't stop it, bro. You just have to let it rock, bro. Man,
What do you say? Should we
my
get
speech is
into
about to
some
be
music?
crazy.
Should we get into some music?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all, for y'all who
Sorry.
come to check out what is the new hot song or
Nah,
Yaya's opinion on Ice Spice.
Y'all had to wait. The message was more important than the music. Let's talk about it.
And we giving it up because it's episode 10, y'all. We giving it up. We have to give it up to y'all.
Extemporaneous speech is happening right here.
Should we start with
A lot of music came out.
Hit Boy?
Talk about it.
Hit Boy dropped
Talk
two
about
albums
it,
in
bro.
the last 2 weeks since we've been gone. He dropped an album in collaboration with Music Soul Child, which was pretty great. It was called Victims and Villains.
Yeah.
Some of my standout songs from that.
The one that I talked about last time, right?
Yeah, we had
The Music Soundchild one?
yeah, the one that came out.
Yeah.
We had the two songs from Dom Kennedy, frequent Hit Boy collaborator. That were great. State Champion Corsa.
Yeah.
Tony Fontana 3 with Currency. I'm a big fan of Currency, so you put him on anything and I'll listen to him.
Yeah, I love his flow.
Oh, no, that's off the Hit Boy Ray album. Sorry, we got a little far ahead. And Victims and Villains, the title song was great. White Rice and Deja Vu was great.
Wait, what? What happened?
We was talking about the Music Soul Child album at first. My bad. That's my fault. I said some songs from the Hit Boy album.
Oh.
See, but this is what happens when you're dropping such great music. Music Soul Child was more kind of an R&B. I think Yaya, you'll get definitely some songs to throw in the playlist from there.
Yeah. I'm about
My
to
standouts, White Rice and Deja Vu.
Okay.
Is It Love, Is It Lies?
Okay.
And the intro track, Will I Touch the Sky? It was really great. Music Soul Child got into some great singing. And it seems like from what I can get from the credits, he is signed to himself because it says it's from Soul Star Music Company,
Okay.
which is probably his own label.
Yeah.
And he has a pub deal because the publishing company is also quoted there, but I'm not going to. Oh, no, it's Luvan Music with the Q. So that's probably also his own publishing company.
Wait, what is it called? L. How is it spelled?
Luvan.
L what?
Luvan. Music with the Q, like how Music Soul Child has it. So this could have been probably an all independent release, and it was great. It was really great to me, to be completely honest with you. And Hit Boy did his thing. Hit Boy did his thing on a lot of the production, and it was a great comparison to his own album that came out the following week, which was titled "Surf or Drown," which Yaya gave a little introduction to on the last podcast. And he had some great features on there. The Nas song was on there. Obviously, Slipping Into Darkness was on there with Alchemist. He had a great song with Spank Nitty that I was talking about, Just Ask, which was great. Spank was talking about why the hell he wasn't dropping music in so long. We've been needing some Spank Nitty music in a while. And Tony Fontana 3 with Currency, as I mentioned earlier. It was a great album. It wasn't as good as Slipping Into Darkness being the lead single made me believe it was going to be, because it didn't seem like he had many more shots. But hey, it's smart. You lead with the shots, get people checking into the album, and you drop whatever project you wanted to drop. Honestly, if anything, Slipping Into Darkness to me kind of didn't fit on that album. If you listen to the rest of the album, besides the Spank Nitty track, there's not really a lot of big rap talk music, if that makes sense. You know, you got some big rappers on there, but it wasn't really big shooting shots, bigging up yourself, braggadocious type shit, you know? So, yeah, I think it was still a great project, and I was
Just
pleasantly
chose to
surprised.
lead with that one.
Yeah, exactly. He chose to lead with the controversy, obviously. As most people do, though, you know? But that was great. Speaking of leading with the shots, Alchemist also dropped an album with
Larry June. Let's talk about
taking
it.
advantage. He let Hit Boy shoot all those shots off, and he still benefited from the marketing low key.
It's called The Great Escape. I believe it has no skips. Features from Action Bronson, Ty Dolla $ign, Boldy James, Jay Worthy, Joey Badass. Larry June and Alchemist was doing their thing, and everybody on the features was doing their thing. I don't think there was any skips.
I'd agree.
I don't think there's any skips. Action Bronson was speaking hella spicy with Larry June on Solid Plan. That was definitely a standout track to me. He was spitting the Sopranos references. It sounds like, the beat sounds like I'm in Miami. Beautiful music. And Action Bronson referencing the Sopranos is classic. Talks about Pussy Malanga getting killed by Tony Soprano. Anyone who loves the mob series, The Sopranos, knows that episode and knows what happened then. And Action is speaking about it. Amazing. It sounded like it could have been on Action's old project. Not old, but more recent project. Only for Dolphins. Maybe he gave that to Larry June and was like, yo, just take that. But who knows? It sounds like it was that beat was made for Action. That beat was made for Action. You feel me?
Production on that, like always, is amazing. Larry June's
I love the Soprano reference.
Larry June's rapping is really amazing, honestly. I was telling Yaya earlier, he's from San Francisco, we discovered. But he spits like a New York rapper. And I'm always gonna love some shit like that. In New York, it's time to step it up, because when you got a motherfucker from San Francisco spitting better,
he's been spitting like that though.
For a long time.
He's been spitting like that though. He just
gotta stay awake, man.
Good sound.
Stay awake. Good
sound, bro.
Joey Badass was on the album as well, with another song from Currency. Currency been busy.
Yep. And some other standouts to me were Margie's Candy House. I like that beat, and it sounds amazing. And I liked Orange Village featuring Slum Village.
That was great.
On that track, I felt like there was a man that sounded like Kendrick on there, but it wasn't. But
yeah, that was funny.
I had to play it for Freezy just to make sure it wasn't, because I was just like, yo, if Kendrick makes it a shadow appearance on...
He does that a lot. He does that quite often, actually.
On Larry June's project, that would be crazy. But man sounded like Kendrick, but...
It wasn't.
That was another standout from me. That one's called Orange Village.
My favorite was probably the one with Ty Dolla, Summer Rain. I cannot wait to listen to that shit driving around in the summertime with the windows down and going to the Bahamas, you know what I mean?
Word, that's tropical climate music,
goodness.
like only for dolphins with Action. Larry
Honestly,
June
to be honest with you,
Alchemist
I didn't really like the Big Sean song on there. I think that one was a miss.
It was all right.
I think that one was a miss.
It was all right. It wasn't skippable. to me.
I
It was
listened to it.
alright.
I actually did listen to it all the way through, even though I didn't like it. So yeah, I definitely see your point.
Yeah. But the whole album to me had no skips and it flowed so great. And it's just good music.
And we saw
Good music, man.
more music drop
Yeah.
from DJ Drama. He was busy this weekend. He did a couple podcast appearances. He did Ack and he did Joe Budden.
Yeah, I still got to watch the episode.
They were giving it up. They were giving up a little bit. It was all right. But to be honest with you, I liked the interview more than I liked the album.
I like the album. I thought it was a solid project.
I thought it had a bunch of skips.
It was called I'm Really Like That. A lot of heavy-hitted features. You feel me?
Let's lift off a couple. Tyler, the Creator. I almost said Taylor, the
Lil
Creator.
Baby.
A Boogie, which was a previous single that already came out, Ho For Me.
Nip. Roddy. Gucci. 42 Doug. Ross.
Jeezy, who was my standout artist on the album.
Westside Gunn makes an appearance.
Benny
too.
the Butcher makes an appearance as well.
Yeah.
Jim Jones is who we were talking about last
Yeah.
episode too. Fabulous, New York legend.
Fab. Yep.
Boosie Badass, a down south legend.
Mozzie.
Offset, I don't know if you mentioned Offset.
T.I. and La Russell.
And I think
Sci-Hi,
we're
too.
missing the
Heavy hitter features.
the biggest one, to be honest. The Jack Harlow feature.
That track
That's
was,
his
what
most
was the
pop
name of that
feature.
track?
It was called Mockingbird Valley, which is a very
Yeah, that one
Jack
was
Harlow title.
That one was good.
I liked it. I actually liked it. I think he mentions Don Cannon did co-production on that beat, which makes sense
yeah.
because DJ Drama and Don Cannon own, what is it, Generation Now? Generation Now, I think, is their label, where they have Uzi and
Yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Harlow and a
yeah.
bunch of other artists.
Yep.
So, DJ Drama goes on the song talking about, I told you I signed this kid from Kentucky. I
Yeah.
told you he was going to make a lot of bread.
Yeah.
And he was right.
You pointed out earlier before the pod that Harlow, because I liked it. I like that song, and I don't really give it up to Harlow like that, but I like that song. I don't know if he's trying to chase his Drizzy bag.
I think that's
Trying
exactly
to-
what it is. It
to-
seems like a Drizzy bag to me.
He seemed like he trying to go for that spot.
He got the
You know,
feature.
when pushing towards it.
He got the feature, and he's the young
sound-wise.
up-and-coming guy. It makes sense. Drake was biracial, and Jack Harlow is white with curls, so that's the evolution of it.
That's fucking funny.
But I think he makes good music, though. And his last album, I didn't enjoy all of it, but there definitely at least 3 songs or 4 songs that I liked that I would listen to from it. That's not hate, by the way. That's like I actually enjoyed some of those songs.
His flow on that song was nice.
Yeah.
Another standout that something got added to the R&B track from
Really? From the DJ Drama album?
I really like that DJ Drama's album. You feel me? I added. It says "Ho For Me." It's kind of spelled
That's a definitely
weird.
classic Yaya song title.
Shut up.
I could see you loving a song called Ho For Me.
Hey, I do. So you're right. And it's with A Boogie and Lil Baby that got added to the playlist.
Shout out A Boogie, shout out Highbridge.
Good sound.
I'm not
good
the biggest
sound
fan
on
of Lil
that one.
Baby, but that was alright song.
Me neither. He did his thing on that track from
That didn't
from
get
the-
added to Freezy's playlist, at least. But the Nipsey
got added
Hussle
to
song,
That was a good song.
that was a big
That
one.
was a good song.
That was a big one. The Blast is out there filling in for the Dream on this song. All right?
That's a good take.
You know what I mean?
That's a
He
good- that's a good
seems like
take,
that
though.
kind of artist, We seen the Dream used to float around a bunch of people's projects doing a lot of music.
That's very
He's
true,
doing the
and I
same
love
thing.
the Dream.
Blast is doing the same thing. And not to say that the
I
Dream
love
is
the
not
Dream.
still out here doing work, because he's still out here doing work.
Songwriting like crazy for Chloe.
Yeah.
Beyonce on the new album. Dream has a lot of hits. That nigga sold his catalog, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad about it. A couple years ago, this man sold his catalog, and I was just like, yo,
Probably
I
could
love
have
the
made more
Dream.
money at this point.
how the fuck did you give to them the classics, all the classics from back in the days from Dream? He gave it to them, bro. And I was just like, damn, bro, all that music I love, and I still stream the fuck out of it. That shit's on the R&B playlist, bro. So I'm just like, damn, bro. But that's a good comparison that you make. That Blast may be coming and trying to take the inspiration from Dream, like how he's seen Dream move around the bag, like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. He's definitely doing that. He's definitely doing that.
I think he's taking the right steps towards that, if that's what he's actually going for. But yeah, the Nipsey song was great. Jeezy's verse on that was great too. Jeezy was giving it up on there like he usually does. He don't give a fuck about nothing. He'll stay shooting with the pen.
Had another song. How many times he featured on the project? Twice or
Twice. Yeah, the other song was
second to last song
was a big
cheesy.
banger.
Yeah,
Yaya was telling me that the Boosie song. At first, I didn't really like the Boosie song, but when Yaya told me, "Yo, that's strip club music, that's twerking music,"
Yeah.
man, I listened to it back.
Girls
I was like,
gonna love it.
You might be onto something there. You might be onto
That's
something
the
there.
sound. It might sound funny up here, but in the South, that nigga's platinum in the streets.
Yeah. So shout out Boosie too.
Shout out Atlanta.
Keeping it on DJ Drama,
everywhere else.
giving DJ Drama some
In the
praise.
South, you feel me?
He was on the Tyler project, or I guess him and Tyler's co-project.
Tyler was
a deluxe
Tyler was the
album.
first track on DJ Drama's album.
Yeah, he was the intro to DJ Drama's album. Tyler
Sounded good.
A deluxe to Call Me If You Get Lost. I believe it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 extra songs, which is basically like putting out an album in these days. I mean, Kanye put out 7-track albums before.
I saw the Rocky feature.
I was not a fan of the Rocky feature, to be honest with you. I heard Vince Staples too. And I'm also usually a fan of Vince Staples, but I feel like he wasn't giving it up on the album. I feel like he gave him a little something. Maybe Tyler just gave him the look and he's like, hey, fuck that look. I don't want it anymore. That's just how I judge the performance. I didn't really like that song that much. What a Day was actually one of my favorite songs from that deluxe. I'm not the biggest Tyler, the Creator fan. I appreciate Tyler, the Creator, because he made the song called Yonkers.
Yeah.
And shout out Yonkers.
Shout out Yonkers.
So that's why I respect Tyler, the Creator. But
Westchester's own.
What a Day and Sorry Not Sorry were the only songs that gave me anything to like about the deluxe. He had a song with YG. I didn't give a fuck about that shit either. It said 2020 demo. Yeah, that should have stayed a 2020 demo, brother. We didn't need that one. What a Day came out. I liked the song, but then I quickly realized, hold up, the only reason I like this song is he sampled the same song as Royce the 5'9" did a while ago. And Royce had a better flip with Cole. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's how I feel. But the Tyler song was still good.
Word.
Sorry Not Sorry was good. It was the outro to the deluxe, I guess. So it's new outro. I don't know. I felt like it was good, but I don't know. I think he should try and make another alternative album because Yachty did better than him this time.
So, because you was kind of after this man Tyler a little bit.
That's all I'm saying, though.
You was kind of spitting to you. You was kind of after him a little bit earlier.
Some pandies going on over there as well. All I gotta say, it's just a lot of pandying. You know, I don't really like the pandies. But hey, I'm just giving it up how I want to give it up. He said he wants to rap more. That's what DJ Drama said on the interview with Joe. He said Tyler, the Creator, came up to him and was like, hey, you know, I really want to prove to the hip-hop audience that I can rap. You don't need fucking DJ Drama on the album to prove that to you.
I mean, but
Just spit. And he's always been a spitter, so to speak. He's always kind of giving it up. Maybe in a different weird sort of way.
Westside Gunn influenced him to spit.
You could say that, but maybe it's just him piggybacking off of people who we know can spit and are respected in that area of being rappers. You know what I mean? If you want that same respect, don't go out looking for either a handout feature or a handout album from DJ Drama just to put his cosign on it, just for you to say, oh yeah, look, I'm a rapper. I think he feels a type of way, or maybe not a type of way, but maybe he feels insecure about the fact that he won Best Rap Album when the people who really listen to his album are high school white boys. To keep it a buck. And he's on this journey of, okay, I won Best Rap Album twice somehow for those two albums when they should have either been up with R&B or pop or alternative or whatever the fuck, because
Where you drop?
is a lighter or whatever. But you're trying to prove that you can rap. You don't need no DJ Drama stamp of approval. And I see why Drama would do it, because I think at the time he was still beefing with Drake.
Maybe he fuck with Tyler. He fuck with Tyler, dog.
It seems like he fucks with Tyler. Whatever. I'm not gonna say nothing about that relationship, but to me, it seems like Tyler is working with all these people trying to show that he can rap. Just show you can rap. If you're gonna tell me, yeah, I can rap, I can rap.
He's not doing that by
Normally, that wasn't
working with them?
that wasn't the music he was making. For the longest time, it wasn't the music he was making. So if now you're gonna turn around and every time I hear something from you, as you saying, "Hey, look, I'm a rapper, I can rap," it's gonna make me think, "Hey, I don't know if you can rap." If you have to tell me it, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear that shit. If you saying that you can rap and you're like that at rapping, just rap. Just put out a rap song. Put out a rap project. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that, to be honest. Maybe because I'm not the biggest Tyler fan. I do like some of his songs. I won't say I don't. The Igor project was pretty good, but that was an alternative album. I didn't give a fuck about the Call Me If You Get Lost project. I didn't give a fuck about the deluxe. You think having DJ Drama on that, dropping his tag is gonna make me be like, oh damn, Tyler's a rapper. He could get put up there with whatever. No. He's still more in a pop lane to me. When you see his festival happen,
So you don't think that he's genre bending? Tyler's a genre bending.
You could be genre bending all you want, but let's say, for example, when he did the festival, the whatever festival, the Kitty Softpaws festival that he puts on, that booed off Drake because they were expecting Frank Ocean. If you take a look at that audience, it looks like Tyler's audience. You know what I mean?
Okay, people who can afford the tickets.
People who are gonna wear the fuzzy hats and the short shorts with the fuzzy jackets or whatever, and call it drip. You know, I'm not saying I got fashion sense or whatever, but I know for damn sure they don't. At least that's not my style. And I think he feels a way that's his fan base. You know what I mean? But don't shun your fan base away.
He created that. So what is the problem though? How is he shunning his fan base? That's the first time I'm hearing about that.
He's trying to act like a rapidy rap rapper. He's even talking about in his songs, sorry to Odd Future, that our egos got in the way. Man, I see Odd Future out here working still. Taco's acting. His Jasper is acting as well. He's with the Jackass guys or whatever. They're doing their things. He's just putting out some shit out his head to be like, hey, I used to like rap with these guys and do whatever. Earl Sweatshirt. We always wanted the Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler the Creator album. But Tyler was probably ducking it because he can't rap like Earl Sweatshirt. Earl Sweatshirt has albums with The Alchemist. Earl Sweatshirt doesn't come out here saying, oh, I'm a rapper for real. You know what I mean? Earl Sweatshirt is showing us, hey, I rap and I make rap music all the time. And I get on these Alchemist beats. I get on these Westside Gunn beats. I do whatever. You know what I mean? To me, it's another example of
what?
One artist having success because of his ability to pander to a certain audience and being able to be like, hey, I can do this. So
that's the term we're using, to pander. So it's not discovering something new that you like. It's not a new idea.
But it's not just new if when he first came out, what was the song that had him first coming out was Yonkers.
Wait. So you're saying that he's using it right now.
But he's going to move on. He's going to move on.
Okay.
He's going to move on because that's not what's going to get him all the money that he wants and all the attention that he wants, obviously.
How you know that?
Because it's not. It doesn't. It really doesn't.
Because the way how I see it, so the man can't just want to fucking do something else? Or you think that he's dissing rap by forgetting it at first to discover a new sound and then coming back to it now with Westside Gunn?
What I'm going to say, Yonkers used to bump in the hood all day.
Okay.
I remember the days when that shit was on the boombox at all times because that shit was always on Hot Power 105.1 or Hot 97.
Okay.
Or motherfuckers were just putting that off the string because they liked that song and it was shouting out whoever.
Mm-hmm.
For the next however many couple of years, has Tyler been making music to be bumped in that way?
Spitting form?
Exactly. Even Yonkers isn't a traditional spitting or rap song, right? Because of the way that he goes at it. But it still had its roots in hip-hop, and it still was a rap-like song that could be played in the hood all day.
Okay.
And then for the next couple of years, he's bending with singing and doing all the rock and roller shit, whatever. And that's where he's made
in your eyes.
And that's where he's made a lot of his money and reached a lot of his success. To me, that's pandering.
So he can't just have a new idea to go into a different lane.
But now he's going back to that. He's kind of going back to that first lane after he wins Rap Album of the Year, because he feels a way about winning Rap Album of the Year.
That's an argument.
I don't know. I might be in the minority about this, but that's just how I feel. I don't know. And again, he makes good music. He makes good music all the time. He releases good singles, good albums. He knows how to work a single. He's not losing anything by losing my ear because I still give him my stream every once in a while. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's how I feel. You pandering. You don't have to pander. We get it. If you want to show that you're a rapper, just rap. It's not that hard. You don't have to get DJ Drama on the album.
I don't understand that. That's the part where you lose me.
You don't have to get DJ Drama on the album.
That's the part where you lose me because he is rapping though. He is rapping, and do you feel offended that he left rap to go pursue a different lane, looking wavy or whatever?
Exactly, and then
like
you come
Rocky
back to it. But then you come back to it. But it's not like Rocky has ever gone all that way left to go win these.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure.
You sure about that?
I'm sure. I mean, Rocky has experimented with different rounds.
Go left meaning how?
Even with his projects, Rocky has never really gone all that way left.
Fashion? We mean going from fashion to rap, or
Fashion, or his audience, or the way he is accepted by his audience. If that makes sense. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like Tyler has gone back and forth through that all the time. I don't know.
Oh shit, bro. So all right, so that's the problem that you have with is that he's not a rapping nigga. He not just stays with rap. He goes all
exactly. He's
all right,
going
but
all over the place.
is that foul though? Is that a foul? Is that a bias right there?
It's not foul, and it might not be a bias, so to speak, I guess. But like, he's doing all this, going all the way around.
Drake could do it, and you don't say nothing.
But Drake is rapping on every album. He's always been rapping on every album.
All right. And that was a loose. You know what I mean? That was a loose example.
A$AP Rocky kind of similar thing. Like he'll do like a song like, I forgot, Sundress, which is like, and he's like playing. He has guitar.
So that's not pandering. That's not pandering to you.
But he's not doing it in a way that's gonna get him Grammys. Tyler is doing it in a way that he's going after the Grammys, and the Grammys is be like, "Oh my God, yes, this is."
How you know that? How you know that? How you know that? How do you? How many
Grammys has A$AP Rocky won off of the music that he's been making?
Nigga, but all right.
You gonna tell me Tyler Creator's been making better music this whole time than A$AP Rocky?
According to the numbers.
Yeah, but that's exactly the game that he's playing. He's playing the numbers game, and when you get those numbers, the game's gonna take you more serious.
But to me, you're burning him for what though? Like what? He's pandering in your eyes.
Yes.
He's trying out new shit in my eyes, and he's winning at it, and you have a problem with that.
But I don't think we can consider it because the way he wants it to be considered is he's doing rap now. Like this is a pure rap album, when it's not.
So how do you know that was his?
He's come out and said it. Even DJ Drama in interviews come out and been like, yeah, when Tyler approached me about this album, he wanted to show people that he could rap still, or that he's a rapper, that he could rap. You know what I mean?
All right, but what's bad about that? Like, why you hate?
He didn't prove it to me. That's what I'm saying, I guess. He didn't prove it to me. He didn't prove shit to me. But just by throwing DJ Drama on the ad-libs, no thank you.
It's the beat that comes from DJ Drama.
Shout out to DJ Drama for getting the production credits and the writers credits, I assume too. But it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't move the needle for me in your legacy, so to speak.
Having a album with DJ Drama is not good.
It's great. Anyone can have a Gangsta Grillz album and it not move your legacy.
You
have to live up to that standard. I don't think this lives up to the standards of a Gangsta Grillz album. What? You think I'm crazy?
This nigga took a left turn out of nowhere, bro. Yo, we driving on the straight road and this man just took a left 90 degrees without slowing down and just turned it on me.
Let's list off some of the greater DJ Drama led albums. All right?
Nigga, but I mean, the way that you're coming at it, I'm kind of confused. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm confused because...
Okay.
It just come off as hating to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. It just come out like
it can come off that way.
Because I tried to go through it.
It could come off that way, but
I tried to go through it.
When you go through the list of it, this is DJ Drama's list of his top Gangsta Grillz album. Lil Wayne's Dedication 2.
Okay.
Jeezy's Trap or Die.
But he still be irrelevant though with DJ Drama.
Gucci Mane's The Movie.
Okay.
Fabulous There Is No Competition 2.
Okay. You putting up...
We're talking about legendary rappers with rap albums. These are all rap albums.
You putting up Fab against Tyler. Like, what is...
Who has more Grammys? Who does more numbers? So we're getting a guy who does big numbers and does all this Grammy award-winning work without the need of a DJ Drama album.
But we don't fuck with the Grammy. All right, listen. I told you. We can't look for them for validation if we don't fuck with them.
Dream Chasers 2, Meek Mill.
T.I.
Down with the King.
And we don't fuck with the Grammys. So you can't use it in your argument to validate.
You could say that all you want, but at the end of the day, this guy is so successful without it, it feels like him just being like, yeah, I'll do a DJ Drama album to try and give myself more credibility. When the same artists who've done these albums, we're talking about Meek Mill's Dream Chasers 2, Lil Wayne's Dedication.
Okay.
Fabulous's mixtape.
So is that a DJ Drama problem or
I'm not saying that's a DJ Drama problem. I'm not saying that's even a Tyler the Creator problem because it's made the album super successful. But it doesn't match up when you compare it to other mixtapes that haven't had the same money go into it, that haven't had the same label push go into it, or the same artists that have even had the same looks as Tyler the Creator's had.
Okay, so you're saying
it feels like you're using you're using something that you don't really give that much a fuck about.
But that's how he
For
came
look
in the
right now.
game, though. You said that. That's how he came in the game.
He came in the game with Yonkers, yes, but that was a big radio album too. And then he drifted away from the rap roots to go into an alternative bag and do whatever for years. It's not like he did it for an album or a song off or something like that. He's been doing that shit for years.
Araki was doing the same thing. So.
But Araki was still rapping. Like, you can't tell me that Tyler, the Creator, has been rapping like ASAP Rocky has for his whole career.
You don't know that. We don't know that.
We've listened to Tyler albums over the year. Tyler's always had some of the biggest albums in the world.
It's what he wants to put out. That nigga could have just kept on rapping the same way. Like, you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand your point.
You understand what I'm
but
trying to say?
But I don't think my point is any less diluted from that situation. Because when I'm listening off these albums, it kind of shows me that you can't put Call Me If You Get Lost up with these other mixtapes. They're not even close. But you're giving it the benefit of being a polished studio album when that's not really the roots of the whole thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. I could see that some people will be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
To me, it kind of looked like you hating.
It could be hate. Maybe I'm hating.
But I don't know why you hating. I can't justify the hate if I don't know why you hating on this nigga. Because he's pandering, but everybody be pandering, bro.
But these guys,
everybody be going into different lanes, bro.
Okay, but then how come? So what am I supposed to say when I listen to this project back and I don't like it? I'm supposed to just say, yeah, I don't like the project, whatever, and just move on. It wasn't a good project, whatever. I'm giving you the reason why it was a bad project to me, because it feels like pander music that will not last, and it only gets played at Urban Outfitters. I don't know.
So you just don't like the music?
I don't like the music, and I don't like what stands behind the music, which is Tyler, the Creator, using DJ Drama and the legendariness of a Gangsta Grillz mixtape, and being a so-called, quote-unquote, rapper or loving rap.
So you think that
when he hasn't been doing that for his whole career.
Okay, so you think that he's being a culture vulture to the culture?
Kind of, in a sense. But not necessarily culture vulturing, because...
He's coming back when it's favorite.
Exactly.
That's what you say.
When it matters, when he wants to feel a way about it, when he wants to like assure himself of something, he's coming back to it. But just by doing that, that doesn't mean you actually give a fuck about rap or furthering rap or even showcasing your skills as an MC. You just care about getting more dollars, more profits, and then also being able to be like, hey, look, I'm a rapper and I'm getting money and I'm getting Grammys, you know?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I
don't know about the last part, but
like,
if you feel that way, somebody feels that way somewhere else too.
I don't have the same problems I have with Tyler, the Creator, as I do with Childish Gambino.
Say that again.
I don't have the same problems I have with Tyler, the Creator, that I have with Childish Gambino.
So that's different.
And you could argue that Childish Gambino maybe uses some of the same shit, but he's also been a creative his whole life and working on different venues and different assets, movies, TV.
So his
different forms of music.
So this man hats and clothing brand is not working on different stuff for Tyler.
Yes, but I'm saying it's in a way where it's kind of pandering, versus Childish Gambino has been doing it as this is how I express myself creatively sort of sense.
So even Tyler's not doing that.
Childish Gambino's earlier out. I mean, you could compare Childish Gambino's Because of the Internet. I don't know if you ever heard that album, Because of the Internet by Childish Gambino. It has 3005 on it.
I know 3005.
Yeah.
It's just
that album
a long time ago. I haven't
is
heard
a very great concept album, and he raps on it all the time. And he's always been rapping, but he has never come about it as like I'm tough and this and that type of rap. But it's his version of rap, and he's sticking true to that. And he's always gave credit, and he's always gave flowers to rap. He's always vouched for it.
So you feel like Tyler hasn't done that?
Yes, I feel like he hasn't.
So him doing it is not doing it enough. Him doing it
for him to be successful and have a big album and say that it's a quote unquote rap album with DJ Drama on it doesn't do enough to push that needle for me. I need to see you doing that shit all the time. I need to see you giving up the flowers to hip hop and rap all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, Childish Gambino, you can say whatever you want about him that, I don't even know. I don't even know if you could use the same criticism against Childish Gambino as you can as Tyler, but they've had similar, I think they've had even like a crossover of fan bases. I think they could have a similar audience, but Childish Gambino has stuck in more true to his beliefs and his creative values, whereas Tyler, the Creator, is happy to just be like, hey, I could just appeal to these white kids real quick and make a bunch of money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, so that's... Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, so you have a problem with how the music is being created or the demographic that's being created for.
Yes, and then he turns around and say, "Oh, now I'm a rapper, and now I can really rap." You know what I mean?
So he's not leasing his masters in a way. He's not. Hey,
he's getting those
Isn't that
streaming
not
numbers
good?
to what he wants to do. It's good for him, I guess, but it doesn't do anything for me. And I just kind of wanted to call it out because I feel like no one really says anything about it. And
Hey, that's why you're here.
Yaya disagrees.
That's why you're here.
But
baby.
I'm sure there's somebody out there that's gonna be like, "Yo, this guy has a point." I don't know.
Yo, I try to break it down as best as I can, being unjudgmental and trying to get to the root of the problem. So
And me, I
that's
say
how
how
you,
the fuck I feel.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I
Yeah,
can't wrong you
yeah.
for your feelings, bro.
And you know what?
Can't wrong
I
you
think
for your
part
feelings,
of the
bro.
thing is Tyler the Creator has been
So-
such a massive artist for so long that people have felt like, hey, I can't even speak on this. I can't even step on his toes even just a little bit. But I'm gonna give it up because I'm gonna give it up. I got no ties to you, whatever. So, fuck it. That's how I'm feeling.
Hey,
Call me if you get lost. I don't know.
if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You feel me? And we will address it back.
And
again.
it's not even gonna impact him at all because at the end of the day, Tyler's still gonna make how much money off this album and the deluxe and whatever, and people are gonna stream his shit.
So for the
And
record,
go to his festivals and buy his shorts.
you're not
and
here
fuzzy
for him
clothes.
rapping now.
I'm not here for it.
You think that he should have just stayed and did his wavy boy shit.
Even if you're gonna rap, don't tell me that you're doing it because you want to show off that you're a rapper and that you can actually rap. Just do it. I don't want to hear you fucking talk about it. And
so
then,
you just
and
think
then the
it's
product
corny.
that you give me is mid tier. Whatever. I don't care.
Maybe this man Freezy's being a little hard on the man Tyler.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am.
I don't know. I do not know, people. Yo, this is episode 10,
And
bro.
there's a lot of people that will probably vouch for this guy, but do your thing. Do your worst. It's all right. It is what it is.
Hey, we will see. Music will come out. More music will come out, and we will see if it's this pandering that Freezy's alluding to, or
I think so.
he put it.
I think so. It's that pandering music.
That's a definition that I'm gonna have to write down. Pandering in the podcast space musical conversation. We gonna
And
see.
it's really something that's hard to kinda-
pandering or hating.
Pandering or hating.
Pandering or hating a little bit. We
Hey,
gonna
it
see.
could be both. It could be both. I'm gonna keep it at that.
Yo, today, we haven't had an episode as long as this in,
I don't
in
think
a
ever.
while.
I don't think ever we've had an episode as long as this. We're going on an hour and 37 minutes right now.
This is episode 10, baby, and we had to come out to pod. We had shit to say. That's why the mics is here, because we
Yeah.
have shit to say. You feel me? We have shit to say.
And I'll be damned if we hold our tongues and not say how we feel.
Nah, bro, my mics don't have no filters. Okay,
Exactly.
the mics over here don't have no filters. You say what your feelings is. You feel me? And
And if you say something too
it is
wild,
what it is.
we can edit it in post.
Yo,
shit.
that shit is crazy though. But yeah, bro, fucking.
Honestly, I think
this is episode 10, baby.
This has been one of the better episodes of the podcast so far.
The message is important. The message is important, yo.
We spit some fire. I hope you guys are listening and taking it in.
But
Shout out to everybody listening.
yeah,
If you made it this far.
like,
If you even started the podcast.
comment.
Subscribe. Down here.
Nah, don't even point. It's gonna be somewhere in the odd location. I cannot think of that shit right now.
Get
I
the suggested
cannot think of
videos here.
Nah.
Watch the clips. Watch the shorts and the talks and the
Yeah,
reels.
we flooding with content, baby. We
Thank
here.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
But if you say that,
Yep.
this was episode 10. One for the books. One for the books. Feel me? One for the books.
Clink a glass real quick.
And we will continue to deliver the message to the people, bro.
And we will
But-
forever be unfiltered about it too.
With that being said, this was the Build for Cuban Links podcast. I am your humble and gracious and lovely, patient host, Yaya, and I'm here with my nearest and dearest friend.
Freezy.
and we'll catch you later, baby.
Safety,
Yeah.
love, blessings, peace.
Yeah. That shit was one for the books, baby.
Oh, they gonna come first.
One for the books.
You're trying to culture, I'm telling you. Nah, I feel. How you feel? Nah, I feel.